Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my favorite drugstore slash affordable makeup products of 2016. So spoiler alert, there's going to be some color pop. It literally feels like I was filming my 2015 drugstore favorites about 3 months ago. Definitely not 12. This year is going to be a little bit different. Instead of having favorites for each category, I'm just going to talk about all my favorite drugstore products that I would recommend trying. And just so you guys know, there are probably going to be a few double ups from last year, but hopefully we will have a few new things in the mix as well. And if you guys want to see my favorite drugstore products of 2016, just keep watching. So first up is primer, and there's only really one drugstore primer that really stood out to me this year, and that is the L'Oreal Infallible Mattifying Base Primer. I believe I mentioned this in last year's video. That's probably gonna happen a lot in this video, but I just haven't found anything that beats this. So this does an awesome job of keeping your skin matte as well as filling in any pores. Now for foundation, I have like 2.5 to talk about. You'll see why it's like half in a second. So my all-time drugstore foundation has been the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. This is the US one. Apparently this is the same one in Australia. This is why it's half. They have the same ingredients list on the back, but then this one says it's high coverage, this one says it's medium coverage, this one says it's medium texture, this one says it's air light texture. I don't know what's going on. When I swatch them on my hand, they feel the same, but they're definitely not the same color. So if they're the same, then it's only one foundation. If they're different, then I have like 2 foundations that I really love. Then the other foundation I absolutely love is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. This does an awesome job of holding up against my oily skin, and I really love the finish of this. It's like a natural satin finish. It's definitely not dewy, but I wouldn't call it completely matte either. At least not on my skin. Now onto concealers. I'm pretty sure these two were in last year's video, and first up is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. This and the other drugstore concealer I'm going to talk about are the only drugstore concealers that don't crease on me, especially under my eyes. And this stuff lasts all day and I love it. The other concealer I'm going to mention is the Rimmel Wake Me Up Concealer. This stuff is awesome at highlighting your face. It doesn't have as much coverage as the Maybelline one, but it's still an awesome highlighting concealer. I especially love to use this under my eyes because it's so good at hiding how tired I am. That's probably why it's called Wake Me Up. Next up is powders, and I only have one powder I wanted to talk about today, and that is the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. This was in last year's video as well, but I seriously love this powder so much. It's so affordable and it's such amazing quality. I have like a million of them. Well, 6, close enough. This powder is so good if you have oily skin. I love it to set my foundation and especially to set my concealer. It never makes me look cakey. It's only like $10 and I feel like it's such a good color for under your eyes. I have it on today. Now onto bronzers. This was a really hard one for me. I feel like Too Faced has just set the bar for bronzers with me. So I only have like one individual bronzer that I want to mention today, and that is by Physicians Formula. This is the Magic Mosaic Multicolored Custom Bronzer in Light Bronzer. It's one of the few individual drugstore bronzers I've tried that hasn't gone chalky on me. Put it on today if you wanted to see it in action. And depending on where you swirl your brush, you can have like a more lighter bronzer or a more deeper bronzer as well. So that's a bit handy. So yeah, that's the only individual bronzer that really stood out to me. Now I have 2 like bronzing, highlighting kit things. Palettes maybe? I feel like palettes might be a better word. So first up is the Rimmel Kate Sculpting palette. This is in the shade Coral Glow. Apparently they have 2 shades of these, but this is the only one I've ever seen in stores. But this palette, oh my god, this bronzer is amazing. It is such good quality, especially for a drugstore bronzer. And this blush, I love this blush. And same with this highlighter. Normally drugstore highlighters are quite glittery, but this one is just, oh, I love it. The next contour highlight palette thing I wanted to mention I've used in so many videos, and that is the Morphe 9C palette. You guys know how much I love this. Morphe is such an affordable brand and they actually have really good quality stuff. So in this you have a nice selection of highlight powders, contour powders and bronzers. I love it to death. These are so creamy, so easy to blend. And like the size of these, they're huge. You get so much product in this palette. Whilst we're on the topic of highlighters, there is one drugstore individual highlighter I wanted to mention, and that is by Physicians Formula as well. So this is their Mineral Glow Pearls Light Bronze Pearl. I don't know why it's called bronze. It is not. This is such a pretty golden highlighter, and it's also so finely milled. Doesn't have those chunks of glitter I was talking about before. So yeah, definitely recommend trying out this one. Now for blush. First up is the range I mentioned in last year's video, Still am obsessed with them. This is the Milani Baked Blushes. You guys know I love these. They're so pigmented, so easy to blend. You get so much product in the package. Do I really want to say this? So I've probably had this blush for like 2 years now. Should probably throw it out, but it's still going strong. I have the entire range of these, love every single color. Highly recommend Milani Baked Blushes. Then the new blushes I've been loving this past year. First up we have the Physicians Formula blush in Rose. Can we just like admire the packaging of this for a sec? It's so cute. I have this on today, but you can't really see it. Let's add some more. It's such a pretty natural pink color. It's sort of got a slight sheen to it. I wouldn't call it shimmery, but it's definitely not matte either. Might have gone a little bit overboard there. Oh well. It's so easy to blend, and it's one of those blushes that aren't super pigmented, so you can build up the color as well. I really, really love it. So the next blush is the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush, particularly the shade Pearlescent Pink. This blush is so pretty. This kind of reminds me of NARS Orgasm. Just that really pretty bright pink with the gold reflex through it. This blush is really pigmented. So you only need a tiny amount with this. You get so much product in the pan. I love it. Then the other two blushes I have for you today are actually palettes. So first up is the e.l.f. blush palette. I first heard of this because Desi Perkins was raving about it, and then once I got it, oh my god. I think this whole palette was like $11. You get 4 in the palette. These are so pigmented. Like seriously, what is that? Blends out so easily, doesn't look cakey, doesn't look patchy, and you get 4 colors to choose from. Honestly, don't really use the orange much though. Now I have blush all over my fingers. So the last blush palette I wanted to talk about, you guys probably knew this was coming. This is the Morphe 9B palette. You guys know I love Morphe products, and this has a whole 9 blushes in the palette. I feel like you have blushes for every skin tone in this palette. But like the other blushes, these are so pigmented, so easy to blend, and they're not chalky. My favorite is this color in the corner. Can you guys see this like piece of hair sticking straight up? What is this? What is this? Like my unicorn horn. I think that's all the base products I wanted to talk about. So now onto eye products. First up, individual eyeshadows. So let's mention the ones I mentioned last year first. It's way too hot to have my hair at the front. First up is L'Oreal Infallible Pressed Pigments. These are so gorgeous. They're so shimmery and so pigmented. Not gonna lie though, these are like $25 each, and I feel like that's almost as much as a high-end eyeshadow, but you buy them at the drugstore, so they're my drugstore favorites. Next up, also in last year's video, these are the L'Oreal Color Rich eyeshadows. These are so pigmented, so buttery, so blendable. These eyeshadows are just all around amazing. Only issue is, because these are so soft, they smash so easily. I feel like that was a lot of so's in one sentence. Now onto single eyeshadows I discovered this year. So first up is the NYX Prismatic Eyeshadows. I think that's what they're called, yes. These are so affordable and so pigmented. I took this one to Splendor in the Grass, and it's got a Diamante stuck to it still. Whoops. If you're on a budget and you're after new shimmery eyeshadows, definitely go check these out. But like I said, these are so pigmented. They're more like a pressed pigment than an eyeshadow to me. Can you see that? What? Seriously, you guys need to own these. And now I have eyeshadow all over my hand. Okay, last single eyeshadows. You guys knew these were coming. These are the ColourPop Shadowshock eyeshadows. I'm not gonna lie, these are very hit and miss depending on the colors. Generally, the metallic and shimmery shades are way better than the mattes. All of the eyeshadows I'm obsessed with by ColourPop are the metallic range. I currently have So Quiche on my eyes today. Has anyone else seen Jamae, the TV show? That's what I think of when I read this. So the metallics range in ColourPop is amazing. These have quite a different sort of texture than what I'm used to. They almost feel like a gel. It's so hard to describe the texture unless you felt it for yourself. But color payoff with these are amazing, especially if you use your finger. So my favorite drugstore pigments, besides these, which are pressed pigments, so I'm not counting them, have been the NYX Roll-On Shimmers. Honestly, the roll-on part is a massive pain. I prefer to pop the roller ball out and then just dip my brush into the pigment and apply it to my eyes. And these are so beautiful. They're only like $10 each, and you get so much product as well. Now onto palettes. Again, I feel like you guys know this is coming. So my favorite affordable palettes of 2016 have been the Morphe palettes. I feel like I mentioned 35O in last year's video, but now I have so many more. And honestly, all of these palettes are so amazing. They're only like 40 Australian dollars each. There is quite a bit of fallout with the palettes, but the color payoff is just amazing. Also, 40 Australian dollars and you get like 35 colours in a palette. That's like unheard of in Australia. My favourite glitters of 2016 have been the BH Cosmetics glitters. I bought these for like $2 each. BH Cosmetics always has like half price sales going on, and these are so good. I've also heard good things about the NYX glitters, but they never have them where I am, so I haven't gotten the chance to try them. But I feel like $2, you can't go wrong. Next up, I have some eyeshadow crayons. I know I've used these in a few Instagram tutorials. I'm not sure if I've used them in any YouTube tutorials though. These are the Rimmel Magnificent Eyes eyeshadow crayons. So I have 3 of these and they are so good. You literally just draw it onto your eye, blend it out. You have about 30 seconds to a minute before it dries. And once it's dry, it does not budge. I wore this one and this one to Splendor in the Grass. They literally lasted all day and all night. So I definitely recommend these. They are quite amazing. Next, eyeliner. I have 2 that I want to mention. First up is a gel liner. Pretty sure this was in last year's video. Still haven't found anything better. This is the Sigma gel liner in Wicked. I do own all the other colors as well, but honestly, I pretty much only ever wear black eyeliner. But this one is so good. It's so creamy, so pigmented, and lasts ages as well. Then the other eyeliner I wanted to mention, I seriously use this in every video. Nothing beats it. Nothing drugstore, nothing high-end. This is like top of its game. This is the Maybelline Master Precise liquid liner. Seriously, this is the best liquid liner ever. It's got such a fine tip so you can get a really precise line. It's so pigmented, it doesn't bleed, and it lasts a really long time as well. Now on to lip glosses. These are the same lip glosses as last year. Seriously, haven't found anything better. And these are the Nyx Butter Glosses. These smell so good. They smell like vanilla cupcakes. They're awesome lip glosses. They look so glossy, obviously. And they're really moisturizing and they don't feel sticky either. Now onto lipsticks. First up, these are in last year's video as well. I'm sorry guys, but nothing has beaten these. So first up are the Rimmel Kate Moss matte lipsticks, and not just the ones in the red packaging. I also love the Kate Moss matte nudes. Seriously, these are the best. Whoops. Seriously, these are the best matte nude lipsticks from the drugstore. And I threw one across the room by accident. So as well as those, Rimmel came out with some new Kate matte lipsticks. I believe these are limited edition. Rimmel, if you're watching, please make these part of the permanent line. These are amazing, and the packaging, these are so cute. They're like rose gold. But the color payoff with these is, can you guys see that? That is one swipe, and these last ages as well. And they smell like candy. Seriously, Rimmel makes my all-time favorite drugstore lipsticks. Then the next lipsticks I wanted to mention, I was sort of late to the bandwagon with these this year, and that is the ColourPop Lippie sticks. These are like $6 US, I'm pretty sure. Can't really remember, but the formula of these is so good. And I think the packaging of these is really cute as well. So again, one swipe. Can you see that? They're kind of like a lip pencil and a lipstick, just molded into one. I highly recommend trying ColourPop if you're like me and late to the bandwagon as well. Okay, so all that's left for lips is lip liners. Now I sort of backed away from drugstore lipsticks after using the Urban Decay 24-hour Glide On lip pencils, which are amazing, by the way. But the affordable lip liners I wanted to mention are the Sigma Power Liners. You do have to get these off their website unless you live in the States. I'm pretty sure Sigma's got like a few stores around if you're in the States. Don't quote me on that. I live in Australia. But these are so creamy and pigmented and just glide on, and they stop any lipstick from bleeding as well. Oh, I love this color. This one's Carnation, if you guys are wondering. It's probably my favorite. Oh wow, I think I only have one more product I want to talk to you guys about. So the last product I want to talk to you guys about is an eyebrow product. I use this in like every video now. This is the L'Oreal Paris Brow Artist Plumper Gel. This is such a good brow gel. I actually prefer this brow gel to my high-end brow gels, and the brush with this is amazing. Seriously, every brow gel needs to get this brush. It's so small, it gets all the little hairs, and the formula of this is like cement for your eyebrows. Seriously, your eyebrows do not go anywhere with this stuff. And I think that's everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching and had an amazing 2016. Let me know if you guys have any video requests for 2017. Also, don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you guys haven't yet, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys! This is the Magic Mosaic Multicolored. There is quite a bit of fallout with the What? Instant Stay True Color, long lasting, no, I'm reading the wrong thing.